Lost plane. Landed after 37 years. Time travel or a mystery? Where was the plane for 37 years? How was the plane still running without any fuel? Were they missing or stranded at an unknown location? How did these people survive these many years? You're going to find out the answers to these questions in this video. This is Xavier. Welcome to my channel. The Mushy Guy. On July 22nd, 1955, Pan American Flight 914 was scheduled to depart from New York to Miami. The plane was believed to be transporting 57 passengers and 4 crew members. There wasn't anything unusual about the flight, as it took off at its scheduled time. After it took off from New York, it wasn't long before the air traffic controllers lost signal of the Pan American Flight 914. Just like that, the flight disappeared from the radar, and no one understood what exactly had happened. Not only were there no indication of the flight being crashed somewhere remote, but also there were no signs of any of the bodies of the passengers and the crew members. Later, an investigation was carried out to find the lost plane. Rescue teams were deployed, Coast Guards were scanning the waters, but still there was no luck. After an intense investigation, the authorities concluded that the plane might have been crashed and that all its passengers might have died in the crash too. However, they weren't able to locate the flight. Hence, they came to a conclusion that the flight would have been crashed in sea somewhere, as there were no flight being found on land. As a result, the airline compensated all of its family members of everyone with the death benefits. However, those families were in store for some shocking news after 37 years, as something incredible thing happened. Pan American Flight 914 that disappeared in 1955 landed 37 years later at an airport. Strange. It was September 9, 1992, and the setting of an incredible scene was witnessed at an airport in Caracas, Venezuela. It seemed like a normal day at work for all the air traffic controllers, especially Juan Lee da Corte, who is one of the key figures who played a huge part in the Pan American mystery. However, something soon that would come to pass that would completely take them by surprise. The air traffic controllers were baffled when they came across an aircraft that just appeared out of nowhere on the radar. In less than 10 minutes, the flight showed up in the field of vision. At first, it looked to the air traffic controller as an ordinary flight. However, as it got closer, they were able to see, in fact, an old aircraft. The real confusion began when the pilot of the mysterious aircraft contacted the tower and asked in English, "Where are we?" He then confirmed something that completely took Juan de la Corte by surprise. "We are Pan American Flight 914 from New York to Miami with 57 passengers and 4 crew members. Ground units were immediately called to assist the plane and the passengers, and it landed without any trouble." Having relaxed a bit, Juan de la Corte finally decided to ask the pilot that something which was bothering him. "Do you know today is September 9th, 1992? Juan de la Corte heard flight captain's panicking voice saying, "No, stay away, we are leaving now." And indeed, he starts the engine again, and without waiting for the takeoff clearance, he goes ahead and taxis the plane to the runway. Hours later, the flight reaches in Miami airport. where it was supposed to arrive 37 years before. After inspecting the plane, it was later confirmed that it was indeed the Pan American Flight 914 that departed in the year 1955. The passengers were questioned and later released to be with their families. But there was something that is off about the passengers, as the passengers haven't aged at all. They were exactly the same way when they departed New York in the year 1955. To this day, no one knows what exactly happened to Flight 914. There are a lot of investigations and there are a lot more unanswered questions. However, there seems to be very little evidence that Flight 914 had actually taken place. Apparently, there's only one newspaper that have reported this bizarre incident. The only piece of evidence is a calendar that fell out of the plane when the pilot stepped out. It was dated 1955, which was the year that the plane actually took off. Most investors have concluded that due to the contradicting evidence surrounding the Pan American Flight 914 mystery, whatever supposedly happened back in 1992 did not actually happen. However, there is no doubt that investigators will continue to look into this bizarre mystery. And who knows, maybe information will soon surface backing up the incident as having actually been factual. Only time will tell. One thing is for sure though, it is one of the most bizarre mystery of the 20th century involving a plane.